Welcome back everybody, Chris Bricks here, and today we got a brand new build. But before we get to that, if you've been following this channel for the last 2 weeks, you know we're doing the 2-for-1 Merc build. We got the SL63 over here, and then the G63 right over there. And honestly, for a 2-for-1 combo, that is probably the best 2-for-1 combo I have built. You know, I really wanted the G-Wagon, turned out amazing. The SL63 really didn't disappoint. I thought there was some unnecessary amount of stickers, but overall, great set, highly recommend it. And if you want to hear more about it, I'll have the link below in the description, and then you can check out my thoughts between the two. So this week, I gave you this hint. And if you are a connoisseur of cars, you will recognize the Ghost, because it is part of a highly exclusive, crazy expensive vehicle, but we have that set to build. So let's bring it out. That's right. We have the LEGO Technic Koenigsegg Jesko Absolut. Now this one is the top speed version. Obviously there's another Jesko, I forgot the full name for that one, that has the giant wing on it that's all about downforce and track use. This is the top speed version, which of course we're going to get the top speed version. We're all about fast cars on here. For the most part, we have a G-Wagon and a Game Boy we built and a DeLorean, which none of those go really that fast, but you get the drift. This one has been sitting in my back stock for a little while now. I did see they had a white one for a little bit, never got that one, so I ended up getting the gray one, which that works for me. And what I really wanted to see about this was the doors. I mean, Koenigsegg is famous for how fast their cars are, 0 to like 150 to 0 times, and Nürburgring, I think they run the Nürburgring, I'm trying to remember, but they set so many records with their cars, and the kind of like materials that go into building their cars and everything. I do hear they have kind of reliability issues, but it is kind of a boutique type car, so gotta give it some leeway on that. But overall, the doors. Everybody remembers the doors. You know, you have a Lamborghini that opens up kind of flared up, or, you know, scissor doors in a sense. You have Aston Martin that kind of go out like a bird. You know, all these exotic cars have different ways of opening, but Koenigsegg, they have the ones that kind of rotate out, and you've seen them in movies. They always look awesome. I've never actually seen one in real life, which is kind of surprising because I live in an area where you see some crazy high-end cars, but Koenigsegg is not one of them I've seen actually on the road. So for this set, you have 801 pieces. So probably roughly the same time. I'm looking over at the Bugatti Pure Sport that we built a few weeks back, and it's roughly around this range, so I imagine the time is going to be about the same. We flip it around the back, and you got those famous doors. Now I'm really curious, do they actually rotate out, or do they just flip upwards? You know, that's probably the most exciting part of the build I'm looking forward to, as ridiculous as that sounds, because this isn't like a, you know, 2,000 piece Technic set where they could really get intricate with the doors. This is just one of the middle ground Technic sets, so curious to see how it'll work, how it'll look. One thing I did notice is that the pegs on the wheels do not extend out, which I really hate on some of these Technic sets. I noticed recently they've been not doing that as much, which is awesome. Love it. It's just a cleaner look. It doesn't look like some toy, even though this is a toy, but you get what I'm saying. I hate when the pegs stick out. Looks ugly. Glad it's not on this car. And then you have the actual kind of, you know, CGI, what the real life one looks like. We're looking at top speed of 310 miles an hour. I don't know if they've actually ever tested at that speed. I guess it's theoretical, but who knows? I'm sure someone will try eventually. And you get to kind of see the engine, which looks a little unique. I'm seeing, it almost looks like the pistons have like caps on them, because you know how much I hate in these Technic sets, the little yellow pistons, because first of all, they're yellow. No pistons are really yellow. and then they kind of look really toyish in the engine when they're trying to make it cool and the pistons go up. I always want them to be, just make them silver, make them a shiny silver, make them metal-like. These ones may have caps on it unless I'm looking at this wrong, but we'll build it and find out. And of course, we got the full view functionality. Of course, we have the thing up top that helps turn the wheels, so we'll have that as well. So let's go ahead and open this box. Box is open. We have 7 total bags, which was a lot more than I actually expected. I expected maybe 5 or 6, but we have 7. None of them are crazy filled, but I noticed a lot of the bags have a ton of little pieces. So I guess get your fingers prepared. It's going to be one of those finger burn type builds from the looks of it. There are quite a bit of stickers in this one. For a Technic set, there are 22 stickers, which for me is a lot. And there's some big stickers, so you better hope you put them nice and smoothly on there and, you know, don't get it wrinkled or anything where it's kind of pinched and then you got to pull it off and then it, you know the routine with stickers on these things. But you have 22 of them for this set. And I'm curious if these grays match the gray, you know, of all colors. You'd think gray and gray should be easy to match, but we'll see. Because these look kind of metallic and I don't think the pieces are going to be metallic. Book-wise, fairly thick. Actually, it's got some weight to it. We got about 216 steps or so to get to the end, and about 170 pages worth of build. Now, nothing special, no glamour shots in this of the vehicle, just straight to the build, get it done. Like most of these kind of sets, they do give you a nice picture of the vehicle. And honestly, at certain angles, it looks really good. So I'm really excited about building this. And like I mentioned, can't wait to build the doors. Maybe that's why there's so many small pieces in this set, to get the doors to actually work how they would on a Koenigsegg. But other than that, pretty straightforward. So let's open up bag 1 and get to building. Bag 1 is done. 13 minutes, 50 seconds, and not much to it. You're really building the bottom of the chassis, as well as what will probably eventually be the steering rack. That piece is notorious for helping cars turn in Technic land. So that's pretty much all you got. A decent amount of complexity to this, not that it was really challenging to put this together, but there was a lot of pieces where you wish you had an extra hand or a couple hands to hold pieces together as you're slotting them through and holding them up and putting them at the right angle and holding that gear so this gear fits in there too. But you take it patiently, you know, it's not that bad. Fingers are already starting to feel it, so I have a feeling that this, like I mentioned earlier, this bag is going to be one of those that are a little rough on the fingers. Lots of small pieces, a lot of things to snap in, push through, and not too many huge pieces, as you can see. You do get about 5 leftover little pieces, so if you're looking for anything bigger than that, check the bag, check the box, check the floor, because it's got to be somewhere, because your leftover pieces are not where those big pieces are. And overall, not too bad. So under 14 minutes, can't complain. We're just getting this thing started, so let's move on to bag 2. Bag 2 is done. 22 minutes, 29 seconds. And it doesn't look like a whole lot was done, but honestly this bag had a lot to it, even though it only looks like you added one pancake layer to the vehicle. Now there was a lot of little pieces, a ton of gears, and a lot of functionality that went into bag 2. First part, we look at the back, we have our engine. Got all 8 cylinders going, pushing out 1600 horsepower to put this car at 310 supposed miles an hour. I wouldn't doubt it that they could on computer. I just want to see if somebody could do it in real life. I don't know if the tires are holding it back or whatnot, but it'd be cool to see. As for the pistons themselves, you can see they actually are capped off with a black piece, which makes it better to look at in my opinion. You know, I've already expressed on this channel many times I do not like this style of pistons in the Technic sets. I know it's more compact, the yellow allows you to see functionality, but if you're going to make them look like that, put them in a metal or silver color. That's just my feel. As for the black caps, I do wish that they put some kind of design on it, kind of like a groove or pattern like high performance pistons would have. And I'm sure that they have in the Koenigsegg. But yeah, you got the rear wheels are going to connect, they're going to push this. You got the crank underneath, fully visible, at least right now. And the second part that has a lot of functionality is right here. You can see the gears right here. These red pieces, I kind of have them locked in for now because when you finish bag 2, they're loose. So every time you go like this, they fall off. You may drop them. So be aware of that. So these are attached to what looks like, you know, the steering rack. In this case, it is not. These are actually, I believe, going to be the doors. And it looks like they're going to have that functionality that Koenigsegg's are famous for, where the door comes out and then swivels to the front of the car. Because if I move the red piece a little bit here, as you see, comes off, it's not attached. But you can see as I move it, as I twist it like I'd be opening a door, it's shifting outwards. Not by much, but it's still shifting out there pretty good. And I feel like that's what it's going to be for the cool doors. So I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to getting these doors on so I could see the functionality. And honestly, that's pretty impressive in a Technic set this size. I know Technic LEGO Technic just released a Mac Daddy $500 Koenigsegg set, which they didn't send me to put on this channel, probably because A, too small, B, I'll call LEGO out when they do something wrong, or I think they could do a better job, which probably doesn't go nicely on their books. But hey, I'm here to do all LEGO, or block brands I should say, and if something doesn't feel right, isn't right, I'll let you know on this channel. That's why I do this. Also because I love building block sets. So win-win, right? So I am looking forward to this though. So bravo to LEGO to get this kind of functionality into this size of a Technic set. Can't wait to have this together. Also bravo on capping these off and making them look a little better. I'm kind of curious because of the amount of gearing and functionality for the doors, the capping on these, because other sets I have, they don't put any caps on them. They're just yellow, open, and you look at them. I'm kind of curious if Christian, who, founder of Koenigsegg, had his say in it, like, hey, if you're going to build this, these doors need to do this. This is iconic to the car. Also, let's put some caps on these because they're ugly. I like to believe he was a part of the build process or design process for this set, or at least got a phone call on it, but who knows. As for your leftover pieces, you get 2. That's it. Nothing more to it. No big pieces at all. So check the box, check the bags, check the floor if you're missing anything bigger than a cap or a gold little cylinder, which I kind of like in the engine bay. These are actually kind of gold metallic color, kind of cool looking. And other than that, take your time on it. When you are putting these pieces together for the doors, I don't know if I was just looking at the perspective wrong, but I built one backwards, even though when LEGO has a side view of how it should angle out, kind of like a cross shape, and mine looked like that. And when I put it on, it was in the wrong position. So I don't know if mine was misprinted or I just completely missed the perspective on it. So just take your time on the doors. If one side is built correctly and the other side isn't, just look at the other side and be like, okay, this is the angle it should be at. And honestly, that's what I kind of did with mine, because the instructions were kind of throwing me off on it. So just be aware of that. Anyways, we got to move on to bag 3 so we can get towards these doors. I can't wait to get the doors on. I know, stupid. Excited about the doors though on this car. So let's build. Just over 23 minutes to complete bag 3. And it doesn't look like we did much, because honestly, staring at it, it doesn't look like much. However, we did get kind of the front end. You got the front kind of bumper aero splitter going on over here. Kind of looks like some kind of crazy spaceship. We have what will probably be windshield wiper or a centerpiece that goes up on the windshield. And we also did the steering rack right here. And, oh, don't forget the seats. Now, those are all stickers, by the way. Those aren't printed on. So you got about 6 stickers just for the seats. So heads up on that. As you can see, steering rack is functional, which if you look at the time lapse closely, I put it on backwards and got to rebuild it. So it was a lot of fun. Overall though, pretty straightforward, nothing too complex. I will say this piece here that probably goes on the front bumper hood aero area, I'm trying to think of the car itself. This was a little awkward to put on because you actually connect it through these 2 holes. Now these, you know, they can swivel like this, but it's not quite enough room. It was a little bit of a tight fit. I had to plug in one side and then force in the other side till it forced it to fit. And you could kind of see even here, when I lift it upwards, you can see the pieces are kind of flexing. It's not exactly a great fit. It will fit, but the pieces flex a bit. So as long as you're not dropping it, it shouldn't pop out or anything, hopefully. We'll see. But overall, you know, it's actually, I can adjust it that way. I figured it out. Wow, I'm good. I'm smart. Yeah, so it doesn't show you to do this, but the little, kind of looking at it opposite here, this piece here, this piece also swivels. So if you back it down towards the driver's side, passenger side, whatever side you're working off of, it will make this fit a little better, a little less stress on the rest of it. So learn something in real time here. Now you have 2 leftover pieces, a little rod here, as well as a little sleeve that probably too quick in the time lapse to see, but that went flying completely off behind my desk. So fortunately you do get an extra one because you use about 8 to 10 of these in this. I will say I do appreciate the seats in this, and I know I touched on this in the last bag. I wonder how much Koenigsegg founder, you know, Christian, had a say in the design of this, even if it is the more simpler Technic Koenigsegg set, because These seats, while they're not like, oh wow, whiz bang, crazy, man. And I sound really old there, but oh well. Even though they aren't like insane detail or functionality or that, compared to what the seats have been, and even in the, I think it's a Bugatti Pure Sport, they even have stickers on the seats. They're just a blank L's and that's it. That's all you got. I hated it enough when it had that L and those stickers on it. I thought they looked terrible. But for some reason, this set, you actually constructed the seats. They're about 3 main pieces. Of course, there's little prongs and stuff that hold them together, but there's 3 main pieces, 6 stickers, including a sticker for the headrest with, of course, Koenigsegg's famous logo on it. And you know, this isn't like a brand new set. This isn't like a set that just came out. It's still on the shelves and stuff, but I've had this set for a while. The newer sets aren't this detailed. So it makes me wonder how much of a say they said of, yo, if you're going to be building this, it better look good, and we want certain details. Don't be putting that L seat in there. Make it a decent seat for the size of the set. And honestly, this is miles ahead of what other seats look like in other Technic sets of this size and price range. I know, I always go crazy over the seats, but you know, it's those little details in sets that really will set a set off. I know I'm using set way too much, but you know, that's what makes a difference. You know, everybody, including me, I put Lego at the top. You know, I have high expectations with them, with their quality, the Easter eggs, everything. But Niffles, you know, and the things I see from Kata, I haven't built any of the big Kata sets. I have some that I got my eye on that I just haven't pulled the trigger on yet, but they're catching up. The details I see in the Niffles sets that I built, those seats are flawless. They are absolutely amazing. They have like 8-way powered bolster seats basically in those cars. It is crazy how good they are. And the fact that they took the detail and the time to make a seat that intricate, or the door panel that intricate, you know the rest of the car is going to be great. It's going to be amazing. It's going to have a lot of great details. That's why I focus on the little bit less obvious, or maybe most of you probably like, who cares about the seats? I just want to see the outside. I want to see the engine go. But little things like that, or in the Stinger RS, it has a glove box. I mean, I haven't built any of the really big Technic sets, but even the medium-sized Technic sets, especially in that price range for the Stinger, they don't have that. And it's the little details that I love. I know I'm getting really sidetracked here, but that's why I'm going on about these seats. There's something different about this set. Something happened when they were designing this that was like, we can't do our usual routine. We got to spice it up a bit. And they did. The seats look better like this. Yeah, it's 6 stickers, kind of annoying, but it definitely pops a lot better than a blank L sitting there, which gives the set an L in my opinion. But we move on from that. All right, we have bag 4. We got 7 total in this set, so we're about halfway-ish and not too bad on time. So let's open up bag 4 and let's build. You would think I would learn by now. Hit record, right? Didn't happen for this bag. No blinky light looking at me like it is right now, and nothing up top. I guess I was just too focused on the seat detail that I was talking about in the last bag and going on for probably way too long on, but it's a noticeable detail in this set. But so yeah, I didn't capture any of it being built. I'll let you know it was being built. And so you'll miss out on some music for it. Not that a lot of you probably go through the time lapse, but if you do, I apologize. So let's do some cool YouTube magic. All right, we got the book here. Nothing, book. And then we go 1, 2, 3, poof. And we got a car. Now this bag 4, took around 20 minutes. It seems to be a consistent theme with this car, but definitely got a lot more done. So for this one, we installed the dashboard, which is really hard to see because it's all black shiny pieces, but they're there. And you can see the steering wheel that has a digital speedometer, the Koenigsegg insignia right there. We also added in the side skirts, or rocker panels, whatever you want to call them, as well as kind of the intakes and starting of the rear portion of the car. We also have we have the taillights on for sure, and some of the rear end built. You can see right here we got some of the the diffuser going. And interestingly enough, really cool is this piece right here, which is the center rear exhaust that comes off of the car, is actually like the engine, a V8 engine with a blower on top, Lego piece. You could actually see the little dots on it, not in this because I'm not that zoomed in, but there's little tiny dots for 8 cylinders on this, so that's kind of cool that they use that. The dash, I gotta say, it just feels off on this set for some reason, because they took the time to make a really nice, sleek dash. Like, this dash is better than most Technic sets. Most Technic sets, it's just like a piece, throw it on, maybe something flat against it. This has some shape, it has some style to it. It just feels like somebody was a little more involved in the design of this set. Don't know who, that's just the feeling I get. But overall, this set is starting to look good. I'm getting excited because we got the rear exhaust, taillights. We're starting to build the body panels. Honestly, I can't wait to get the doors on because I want to see how they work. I'm sure you want to see how they work. And if that's all that is preventing you from building this set, is waiting to see how the doors are, I will let you know whether or not it's worth it, because I'm excited for it as well, just like you. Anyways, now we're going to move on to bag 5, and this time I'm going to hit record, hopefully. Bag 5 is done. 25.5 minutes, and I remembered to hit record. Go me. So, what do you do with bag 5? Well, we got a little bit more of the front end, which is probably going to be the hood right here. We also have a lot of the back end put on. Now, it doesn't look like much, but there was a lot that went into this. I guess it will lift up. And as you can see, there is a lot going on here just to put what looks like a few body panels together. And from the top, you got stickers here, you got stickers here, stickers here, stickers here. You go through a decent amount of stickers in this set. But this is the main piece you are building. It is very intricate. It's a lot of little pieces, and a lot of pieces of snapping together and kind of forming them to fit together. You build this like in 3 or 4 different parts and then combine them as you go along. But nothing too terrible. And same with the front. It's made up of 3 or 4 different sets of steps, even though it doesn't look like all that much. But you got the little Koenigsegg, man. saying it wrong all day today. Emblem up front, and like the Jesko has, no spoiler. This is kind of your spoiler. It's kind of the arrow that allows the air to travel down the back of the vehicle. So, looking pretty cool. You can kind of see it with the exhaust out the middle there. And of course, we got the Ghost sitting on the back. And overall, it's coming together. It'll be nice when it's done. Like I said, I'm looking forward to these doors. I'm not sure if this is going to be a bag 6 type thing or bag 7, but in any case, I can't wait to get them together. But it's nice to have the back of the car starting to be built, because I cannot wait to get this car together. Because honestly, the orange and gray, I'm kind of feeling it. I'm liking it. I really like the Bugatti Pure Sport one in orange. That was really awesome. I saw it's in green now also. Maybe pick that one up as 2. But overall, you get 2 pieces. 2 tiny little pieces left over. So if you don't have 2 little tiny pieces, check the bag, check the box, check the floor, because it's somewhere else. Because this is all I had, at least in my set. 2 itty bitty pieces. So let's move on to bag 6 and let's build. Bag 6 is done. Just over 18 minutes, and we got the front end of the car going. Now the headlights are not printed on, those are stickers. Unfortunate, but at least they're not bad looking stickers, As you can see, we got the doors on. Now I have not even tried to mess with them yet, so this is gonna be real time, you and me testing it out at the same time. What I can tell you though is the doors don't really like staying solidly closed down. They kind of pop up a little bit. I don't know if when the rest of the car is built, if that will change at all, but as of right now, they are kind of springy right there, even though they're attached to like gearing and everything, but what can you do? As you can see, when we lift this up, we have a lot more panels. We added this one on, as well as this one on, and it sits all right. It kind of, when you lift it up, it does get caught a little bit in the back here. You'll see one side kind of, yeah, you can hear it right there. It's like clicking. It's catching on one of the pieces there. But, tolerance is a little bit off there, but Technic sets kind of do that after you build them from front to back. When I saw with the 1/8 scale how much you can lose on one side compared to another with doors closing, just by having things not quite pushed in just a little bit. But at least it kind of goes down. It's not like it's permanently, janky off to the side, but it is looking pretty good. Pretty good looking car. And of course, we have the front. We kind of finished that massive front end on it. I'm assuming there's probably not too much left. I don't think anything else really connects on the front, so that's kind of the front of it. Kind of reminds you of like the ZRX1 Vet with its massive front end, just sucking in every bit of air to cool it down. Same kind of thing with this. And of course, we already saw the trunk, but you could see now you got the front fenders on there, and your leftover 2 pieces, same as last bag. So be careful with your pieces, because you haven't gotten a lot of extras in the last couple bags. So here we are. Now, I don't know how these open or what, so this is kind of real time. If I mess it up, oh well, you're gonna have to deal with it with me. But let's see. Okay, that's not too bad. You know, I get where they're going with it. Same with the other side. I will say the tolerances are a bit off on it. I was kind of hoping it actually pushed out more. Like when you have the real life car, you know, it comes out like over here. It like goes out into the side of the car. This one kind of keeps flush with it. I mean, it does do the straight up and down door. Pretty cool. I mean, considering how small this Technic set is, if you got it, it goes up and locks kind of in where the fender is sitting there. Now the other side seems to be hitting on something. I'm not sure what. I guess. Like I said, we're doing this in real time, right? Okay, just kind of needs to push out a little bit more. And there you go. You got kind of that Koenigsegg look. All right. So this side seems to be a little bit more, not only more bouncy, but gets caught on there a little bit. So there is a little bit of tolerance going on. Could be me how I put it together. Maybe I didn't push a piece all the way in somewhere in the middle section there, but you know, I got everything forced in over there, but it's still hitting on here. Let me know if your driver's side hits on this or I just messed it up and put it together wrong. Passenger side, pretty, now that I'm pushing this side over, this side's getting caught now. So, you know what, you'll just have to mess with it. It is cool for a car of this size that they took the time, though, to make that mechanical movement, that it does come up and out. You'll be able to kind of see when it goes. You could kind of see like white gear down here, right there. You could see how that kind of flares out and allows you to get the door up, and when you close it, it swings it back in. So considering how small of a Technic set this is, and how much complexity had to go into this small package to make it work, pretty awesome. Thumbs up, Lego. I approve on that. Honestly, you know, this is a common theme with this car. It feels different with this one. Something feels different, whether it's the design team, the engineers who put it together. Someone put a little extra effort in this Technic set, because, you know, I've built a number of other ones on this channel and none of them had the intricacy of the door. Like, there's not much to the door down here, but you got all this built out on top of it. You know, getting the doors to open more, fancier. This one, obviously, Koenigsegg is famous for those doors, so maybe they had to put them on there, but they took the time to do so. And even the dash looks nicer in this one compared to other ones. The seats are a lot better. I mean, it's just little things throughout this that you feel like it's different. But we still got one more bag 7 left to finish this thing off. And I'm sure I'm going to repeat myself in bag 7 about little nuances that seem to make this stand out compared to other sets. But we will see. So let's get on to the final bag and finish our Jesko. There you have it. Our Koenigsegg Jesko Absolut is complete. Bag 7 was a pretty quick one. You're looking about 12 minutes, 28 seconds. Overall time on this is 2 hours, 15 minutes, and 39 seconds. Now, I will say, as the thumbnail kind of implied, something feels off on this one. This one feels different in a good way. Overall, I thought this was a really good build. I like the little details that were put into it. I like I mentioned, the seats. You know, they took the time in this, because this is a smaller Technic set, like the Aston Martin, the Bugatti, the Ferrari FXXK, all of them, you know. But they took the time to make it to where the doors do the Koenigsegg door thing. So there's extra gearing that went into that. As you can see, we have our, well, not with the door up apparently, but inside you can see we got orange seats with like piping on them. You got 6 stickers total for both seats, so 3 apiece. And you don't get that in other ones. The Bugatti Pure Sport, which is a newer set than this one, I'm pretty sure the orange one is, it's a blank seat. There's no seat belts, there's no nothing. It's just blank. And it was kind of frustrating that the level of detail that lacks in some of these Technic sets was not lacking in this one. And that's what I find odd. I don't know if it was a different person who designed it, if the manufacturer had more of a say of, hey, this needs to include this and we don't want it to look cheap. Because like even the headrests, which you could kind of see the orange there, they have the Koenigsegg emblem stickers on there. None of the other Technic sets that I've done in this size recently, especially for this channel, have had seats that consisted of like 8 to 10 parts. This one does. The other ones are just that L that you push on a peg, good to go. That's not how it is here. Here you actually build the seat. I think there's 5 to 6 pieces at least put into a seat, and then you got 3 stickers for each seat. So they took the time to do that. Also, I already mentioned the doors. The doors do what they're supposed to do. Instead of just flaring out a little bit in that, they actually come up, just like a Koenigsegg. And I guess they kind of have to, because it is that model of car, so they would have to do it. But sometimes I'm kind of surprised that they didn't take an easier route. And as you can see, there is a bit of a fitment issue, and I don't know why this is. The passenger side door works great on this, but the driver's side door hits this fender like nobody's business, and I have no idea why. I kind of have to force it, pull out the gearing out to make it go like that. Whereas the passenger door does it great. It flexes out, it comes out, and as you can see, it starts over here, and as it goes whoop, this side, you're gonna bust the fender off of your multi-million-dollar hypercar. Of course, they got the famous, Koenigsegg's are famous for this kind of like roof line. It's so tight, it's so low on you. I remember the old Top Gear ones where they were driving the early versions of Koenigsegg. I'm sorry, I can't remember the car numbers identification with the CXX or whatever it was that they actually crashed or whatnot, but they always seem tight and low and have this like cap, almost like a baseball cap on you. So, and because this is the Absolute, no spoiler, because this is a top speed car, it's not the other one that has the massive spoiler that's made for downforce and track use. They did put the covers over the back wheels for more aerodynamics, and as you can see, we have full functioning, of course, the usual Technic turning going on. And when we pop open the back, the whole back kind of comes up, kind of like those old-fashioned Le Mans cars, those old Mazdas and everything that pop up, and you see the whole back of them. And you can see a little bit of movement here. And I kind of mentioned this before because for whatever reason, in this Technic set, they capped off those yellow pistons I absolutely hate that they use nowadays. And while I think it'd been cooler if you make the pistons silver color, I know I'm saying this so many times, but it bugs me that they're bright yellow. I'd rather have them silver and have me have to look a little closer to see them move. And here, they're all capped off with black caps on it, which is kind of a nice touch. It kind of hides that kind of clownish looking cylinders, or pistons, I should say. And I think the black caps make it a much better look, much better feel. You could kind of see them there. They're all capped off. And then you got kind of the gold accent pieces here and here as well. And when you close it up, you see this side does catch. So with my set at least, there are some fitment issues that I didn't have on other Technic sets, especially at this size. This size there shouldn't be as much, whereas the 1/8 scale, they really do get some fitment issues by the time you get to the end and you put 4,000 pieces together. Also, another thing I noticed with this one is, we kind of talked about this on the door, this is closed all the way. I don't know if there's not enough weight on the door because it's attached to the gearing or whatnot. It kind of wants to pop up a little bit already. So it doesn't quite sit flush. It does that, which is kind of annoying. I wish they would have figured out a way to give more weight to the door, add a few more pieces, or maybe even if it did click into something to close and you can kind of pop it open. Maybe people would hate that, but you know, having that's kind of bothersome. Actually, it looks pretty good from this angle. Of course, it's all dark colors. You got the orange with the gray. And actually, I really like the color combination. I think it looks really good. And overall, this is a good looking set. I like this set. I probably like the Bugatti Pure Sport, which is, I'm looking at it right over there. I'm not just staring off into space. I think that one looks a little better. That is, I believe, a newer set compared to this one. But this set definitely, I think, looks better than the Aston Martin. I think it definitely looks better than that god-awful Eclipse that they just put out. Don't even get me started on that. They could have done the GST a little more, or GSX. I don't remember which one was in the movie, but they could have done that a little more respect. They did it dirty. But this one, this is a good-looking car. This is nice. Definitely get it if you don't have it, or pick up the white one. I actually can't find the white one anywhere. But the gray one, I still see it at my local Target, so you could definitely pick it up and build it yourself. And in a couple hours, you'll have a great looking Technic set. It's very sleek, very good looking. You get the amazing looking doors and the gear action that goes into it, the cool looking seats, and the better looking engine bay because they cap off those bright yellow pistons. So overall, great set. Definitely recommend it. And if you're into this kind of thing, pick it up at your store. It's great. Bag 7 left you with 3 extra pieces. And honestly, I have a pile of little pieces over here because I ran out of those little baggies I usually use on my videos, and the store no longer sells those little bags with the measuring on it for whatever reason. So I don't even have those to show you if it's a quarter cup worth of parts or not. But yeah, you can see them. They're all tiny 1x1 size or the peg, so that's all you're getting. You're not getting any of the extra bigger pieces, so be prepared for that. One more thing before we sign off here. The book is also a little bit better in the sense of you get this end piece, which is nice. It kind of shows the real car compared to the Technic car. You get kind of the nice views and everything. And I didn't see this in my other Technic set books like this one. The other ones, they just kind of finish, move on. You know, you finish your last page and you get the next page you turn. You don't get this. You get, if I can open it, you just go straight to the parts bin. So the fact that this had this little extra detail in here, the little extra details in here, this one feels like a different one. Like I said, I don't know if it's just the person who designed it, the person who signed off on the building it. I don't know what happened, but this one seems to be a better quality, better detail than other Technic sets of this size and range, especially since this isn't like a set that just came out. It's a brand new set, so they're kind of evolving with their details. So I am really curious what the backstory is on this one. And but I'm glad it happened. And I wish that they would take the time to put more detail into some of their smaller Technic sets, even though the seats, it's a little detail you can really appreciate. And also, bag 7, we closed up the hood. Nothing underneath, but we closed it up. I forgot to mention that. And if you stuck around this long, thank you. We're up to 118 subs, which is absolutely amazing for this channel. I can't believe it. You guys are tuning in, you're supporting the channel, you're making comments. You guys are absolutely awesome, and thank you very much. I get a majority of the people are brand new people to this channel, so if you like Technic builds, different brand block builds, I got a couple new brands coming up in the near future that I've never worked with, and I'm curious how they'll turn out. I'm kind of excited about them in different ways, and you'll see what I mean. And also, if you follow me on Instagram, right over there, you'll know that I got a couple of decent sets for Father's Day, which is absolutely awesome. They're right behind this camera. I could see them right now, and I cannot wait to build them. One of them is going to be a single episode. The other one definitely will be at least a 2 episode. I'm going to see if I can fit it into 2 episodes, because it is about 1,800 pieces for that one. But they're both ones I'm looking forward to. Both I've had on my list for a little bit, and glad that I have them. And as I was saying before, if you're new to this channel, you like those kind of things, Technic sets, regular Lego block sets. We try to do a bunch of different kinds. I even built a Destiny Ghost shell at the beginning of putting this channel together. God awful, don't ever buy that one. It's held together by glue pretty much. None of the pieces fit, so don't get it. But it looks cool when you glue it all together. It's kind of like a model, right? But if you like it, go ahead and sub, hit the bell, send a comment, let me know your thoughts. I hope that this is something you enjoy, and I hope you enjoy the journey that we have together, especially when we're seeing some of the functionality in real time, like these doors. I didn't mess with them before the video. You saw my reaction as I was doing them, and they're pretty awesome. But I enjoy sharing that. I love building Legos, always have, and I'm glad that you're here to kind of see if it's something you want to get into, because I'm sure a lot of people scroll to the end, see if they like the set or not, and then move on. But it's all good, and thank you for visiting. So next week, we have this hint. I know, a little different, but this is also a different brand. One I just happened to walk by and see on an end cap. It wasn't even planned, so this was a spontaneous buy. But it'll be a quick one. It looks like it'll be kind of fun, actually. I'm looking forward to it. It's not my traditional style of set, but I hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch you next week.